to the Soda Fiend. Today we're going to drink something green. We've had a cola, we've had a root beer, and a couple of other things, but today we're going to have some Corn Squeezin. Now, Corn Squeezin, this is my only bottle, so I will have to remove it from the stand in order to display it, belongs to a tradition of American quote-unquote citrus-flavored beverages, which, yes, this is not the flavor of corn, it is not actual corn squeezings, but a citrus-flavored soda, as with Mountain Dew and the relatively lesser-known Kickapoo Joy Juice, and probably a couple of others that use American Appalachian metaphors for moonshine as their nom de plumes, or nom de plume, if it's pronounced correctly. This one, similar to Mountain Dew and Kickapoo Joy Juice, I think these were all euphemisms for moonshine, which then people created soda, as this one has the look of being a bit newer than perhaps Mountain Dew, and probably the other one as well.
But then you'd have a mixer for
the moonshine, which was then named after the moonshine, and at some point, to someone, this made sense, and this is the reason why we have these beverages today. Now, getting into the moonshine themed beverages gets into a tricky area with soda and
its relationship to prohibition.
I think I might save that long story for another day, but the American soda tradition is kind of tied to not just prohibition, also the South and its tradition of the dry county. Absence of
beer in such places led people to seek out another
fizzy beverage, and led to the popularity of soda in regional areas. And then, of course, once your big two got their marketing monoliths going, it kind of turned into a different story. We can take a look at this gentleman who is inviting us to have a swig in a curiously regimented font that doesn't really suggest quite the flavor of this gentleman, perhaps. This is an interesting piece of probably digital artwork. Pretty new looking. I got to admit, I kind of like it. It's a little silly, but I'm good with it. Notice that the hunting dog is wearing a hat more suited for 19th century Africa. So make of that what you will. Perhaps this gentleman has been through a few of his jugs already. Up the top, we got Corn Squeezin. And turning to the rear of the bottle, we can see that Corn Squeezin is our first experience, and indeed, this fiend's first experience altogether, with invert sugar in a soda. Invert sugar, had to look it up. Never heard of it before. It's apparently created by electrolysizing sucrose into a fructose glucose mixture, which is, according to some, sweeter than sucrose on its own. It's usually used apparently in baking, so this is going to be my first experience with it. I saw some kind of disparaging comments about it, but people talk disparagingly about sugars. And some people say it lacks both the flavor of cane sugar and the nutritional value of honey. Well, we're going to take a sample and just check how it is for the palate, I guess. Anyway, this comes in at 43 grams of invert sugar. I don't quite know how that would equate to sucrose or high fructose corn syrup. I imagine it is about the same. So, let us follow this lovely gentleman's advice and have a swig. We'll do a little crack and pour. Opener required for corn squeezing. Our bottle cap today is a plain gold. Unadorned metal altogether. Bare metal. It's lovely in its way, but in the end, it is a bottle cap. Corn squeezing. Having a swig. And we'll pour. Now, this is specifically designated as a smooth citrus soda.
Echoes of Rondo, and even just that tiny sip is telling me that that is true.
Let's take a little more. You know what? I am down with the corn squeezin'. Yeah. This is much smoother than I am used to with a citrus soda. Now, I haven't had a mellow yellow in a long time. I haven't really had a straight Mountain Dew in quite a long time. I have had a Mountain Dew throwback in relatively recent memory. You know, those are pretty easy to knock back. I've never been clear on what the quote-unquote citrus flavor is actually meant to represent. Is it dominated by anything in particular, or is it like just a general mix, or is it all just ugly fruit? I don't know. But so far, corn squeezin' is actually working pretty well for me. I am approving. I like the green bottle as well. Let's some cubes and find out, although I suspect that this is not going to be a great soda for ice. Let's just find out for the sake of it. That does kind of look nice on the light there. The dye levels are relatively light in corn squeezin', which I like, and I guess that's why the green bottle is so they don't really need to load up too much on the dye. You know, worked a little better than I thought, actually. Holds up fairly well. I wouldn't take forever about it, as usual, but yeah. Corn squeezing. Corn squeezin', I should say. I think I'm going to come in with a reasonably strong recommend on this. Now, don't know how people will feel about the invert sugar. I don't have any opinion on it really one way or the other myself. It did not have a negative impact on my taste experience. I'm gonna approve of this soda. I like the dye level. I like the carbonation level. I like the flavor. It's light, goes down easy. I have no idea how this would mix with anything. No idea. Sorry. Yeah, corn squeezing. I have squeezed the corn and found it fine. Thank you very much, and take care of your teeth. Good night.